Hey everyone, gonna start this. Want to make sure I have all this magic coming in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're about to have an awesome show today, highlighting some amazing people. And yeah, this is the second time I'm on, but the fourth episode of One Live, and I am so grateful and so happy to be here to share this amazing experience with you guys. Hi everyone, hey guys, there's a lot of people just loading in. So we're going to have a really cool, people are just logging on in. Hi. Again, so this is Pride. Today is like the official day of Pride, or would have been Pride. And, you know, because of all the circumstances we have going on in the world and the industry, we are basically on hold. I mean, we can still celebrate it. You know, there's been digital prides here and there. There's been some really cool online stores and stories that's been happening as well. And I just can't wait to basically highlight some of these cool people because, okay, so really quickly while I wait for our first amazing guest, who is going to be Yvie Oddly. I have never met her, him, they. I have to make sure I get all the pronouns right when I speak to her. But, you know, we've been on season 11 of Drag Race, which is one of my favorite shows. I haven't watched it in a while, but, you know, I love RuPaul. He's like my idol. And then we have, we're going to have April K who comes on, who is a musician and a beautiful, beautiful girl and activist. We also are going to have Marquise, who is an amazing actor, also part of the House of Balenciaga. And then we're going to close it out with Joel Mignott, who is a model and wrote a really cool open letter, and I want him to kind of elaborate on that. So as I wait for, let's see, Yvie, are you here? Let's see, I don't see you. Are you in here? Oh, you are. I'm gonna hit you up right now.
Howdy,
Hi.
howdy.
Hey, beautiful.
Happy Pride.
Hi. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. I'm gonna try to. So this is my first time using my iPad to do anything other than sketch.
Ooh,
So can you
girl.
hear me well?
Oh, yeah, you should see my jerry rig. You're standing on top of makeup cases, on top of like a tilted chair, and I have my cat just kind of balancing underneath it.
Well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having a lady.
Yes. So break it down for me. What was the behind the scenes of coming up with your image, your idol, your branding, your name, everything? I want them to know you.
It's funny because I think thinking about your image and branding is something that intrinsically ties in with figuring out who you are in the world and what you have to say. So I focused a little less on like what I wanted my brand to be, as much as I focused on how people responded to me
Mm.
and the potential that I had to create change in the community. And so when I was coming up with Yvie Oddly, it was because I had seen how I would need to be able to tell my point of view stronger just with the mention of my name. So since people kept
So
calling me weird, I was like, okay, I'm going to be that thing in your life that
oddly
is a
so.
little weird. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little odd for you. Even though I think anybody who's active in the drag scene and sees what's going on in the world right now can attest to the fact that I am hardly that weird. Like I'm a nice PG-13 pill to swallow.
Listen, weirdness is what we need. If we have all the, I always say, if God wanted us to be all mundane, this place, this world would be so dry and so basic.
Oh,
So
you're
we
telling
need,
me.
you know what I mean? We need the others, the magic, the yous, the me's, the people with actually personality. And thank you. I'm so like happy you guys had time to come on here.
Thank
I have like a
you.
few quick little light questions. All
Oh
right,
boy.
so um, tell me about Pride Castle, and then also tell me about this whole like. First of all, I was on your page. I was like, wait, they're gonna do a whole concert in the car. Like that's a whole nother thing. But like, break down all your goings on right now for me.
So, with everything being on lockdown, of course, every single industry has been affected. And amongst those is obviously people in the entertainment industry, specifically people who put on live shows, like me and a bunch of other drag queens are notorious for doing. So we're just like trying to find creative solutions to make sure that we can still feed people, because art is as much healing as it is just for entertainment. So I think we had some conversations about it, and we started to put together these like digital drag shows. And with the murder of George Floyd and so many others finally coming to light, and there's starting to be a voice about it,
Yeah.
I think it was imperative that we still celebrate Pride,
Yeah.
but we also tackle it from a stance that I'd like to say not a lot of people in the entertainment industry were doing before this, which is being active
Yeah.
in talking about and representing like the queer voices who are stomped out, specifically the trans community, people of color.
Yeah.
So like if we're gonna celebrate Pride, we're gonna do it all out, and
Do it
that's
right.
what Pride Castle is.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I'm gonna try to want to figure out how to get myself going, because I've been trapped in my house doing all kinds of work, and I'm like, I need to live my life. I hardly ever celebrate Pride, and this is like my first kind of true Pride in a way. You know, like actually
Hmm.
like experiencing Pride for what it's truly worth. You know.
And that's what I'm actually seeing and really proud of our community for. Is I went
Yeah.
to a Black Lives Matter protest a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it was specifically the one of like organized by lots of
Mhm.
of the queer community to make sure that we represent that all Black Lives Matter. And
Yeah.
I was so proud because for the first time in my like decade or so of being out,
Yeah.
I felt the reasons that I believe Pride began in the first place. Like it is good that we go out and celebrate and be around our people, shake our asses, show our
But we didn't
glitter.
have much of a purpose back. I mean, last year, let's say we had a purpose, but it wasn't like
Well, I mean, but that's the thing is we've had purpose all
right,
along, and the world is this constant reminder that the further away you are from being a cisgender, heterosexual, like white male, preferably comes from money, then the harder it is going to be for you to succeed. And that's really where the roots of our movement began. So, for the first time in my existence, I've gotten to see people out and fighting and protesting and being in the streets and using their voices to
right,
be more than just like, we're here, we're queer, because
right, right.
it's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, I think that's like the most important thing. Um, I want to ask you something else. Can I tell me about this amazing music video, Hype? When I first of all when it came, I was like looking at it, and I was like, this is popping. Like, this is lit. It was like, you got bars, and I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. I listened to it like 6 or 7 times. Like, this is popping. And it's during quarantine, which is, you did it like, that's so amazing. Break it down for me. Like, break down the whole aesthetic behind the song, and also the video too, which you guys should all check out because the video is so cool.
Yeah. Well, it was honestly just like a pleasure to create from start to end, even though it was honest in the bigger scheme of things. It was about
Was it
adapting.
was it in New York?
No,
Okay.
we filmed that in LA at
Oh,
Mickey's,
lit. Okay.
but the song itself was something that I had like been talking to Vanjie about for a while, and we had like said we were eventually gonna do something. And then when we were together in Vegas for RuPaul's Drag Race Live, we actually had the time to like come together and make a song. And so I wrote this song because I specifically wanted like to pay homage to all the nights that Vanjie and I had gone out to the clubs and just gotten so messy. And I
Yeah.
wanted to make a jam for not only our community, but people in general to bop and be like, oh, I love the clubs. And the
Right.
weird thing is that right as we were recording this is when the pandemic sort of started really becoming a reality for America. And so we still went through with it. and even making the video, like I had to shift gears from being like, yes, this is about us going out to the clubs, which it's not, to like, I really wish a bitch could go out to the club, and since I can't, here's a bunch of mannequins and
And that was the
Miss
best part. I was
Vanjie.
like, clever. The mannequins are all like in the. I was like,
because you can't go to an empty club. That's not
you
cute for
can't.
anyone.
It's not cute for anyone. You're like this. Look, you're like, I'm gonna go home.
Especially when I'm out here like spitting bars about like, yeah, so lit in the club. Oh, I'm causing a mess, like getting us nights. And then there's like nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. That's when the lights come on, and then the end of the night, and it's like,
oh yeah.
I'm the only one here. No, I thought it was a wonderful song. I can't wait to. I used to DJ. I DJ'd maybe 2 years ago. I was like a DJ, and I would have loved to. I'm gonna probably go back into it because that was a good banger to kind of like add into the mix. Maybe I just like a playlist, a little cute playlist, and like, add that in because it was such a great song. And it had his good up tempo, and you had your bars or everything.
Thank you so much. That means the world. It's all new territory for me, in the sense that I never really fed like my musical side, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm finding that much like the rest of what I've put out into the world, that when I'm like writing and really thinking through things that I want to say, even if they're stupid, I'm having a good time.
Right, and speaking your truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna get a little deep here. So I know I read that you have EDS, which is like kind of crazy. I would love to know more about that. Like how does it affect you when you're performing, or just your day to day? Like, I have a lung condition, so I'm in my own every day. I'm like this, trying to like make sure like my breaths, and I know like it takes a lot of mindfulness to be aware that again, we are odd, we are different, right? From Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Bill, Karen, yeah, right. So how does EDS affect your life, your day, your process?
As much as I try to ignore it and not let it rule over everything I do, like I'm still a lot more active than I probably should be. And having just spent a year traveling around the world nonstop, throwing my body on the ground, I know that's
that sounds like
it's not. I honestly just hadn't been really taking care of myself, but in us all being home and being forced to kind of reconcile with our own demons, I've had to see how much damage I've done to myself and how I need to move forward going on if I want to continue putting art out in the world. Because as much as I really enjoy the high acrobatic stunts, like my day-to-day life now is still affected by all of the things I've done over this last year. Like I still wake up in extreme pain. Like I take these Epsom salt baths. I smoke a lot of pot. Like
edibles. I give you
edibles. Yeah, and I'm not even like really that active anymore. I've become a slight couch potato, but I still feel all of the things like kind of ticking away.
That's amazing, and like that takes strength. You know what I'm saying? It takes strength and it takes vision, and I respect you and I appreciate you for that, because you're giving your all to the craft. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we take time to really respect that part, it takes a lot to give, whether it's a wear and tear on your body or your mind or emotion, it's a lot, and I understand that completely, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me another space to speak about it. It's weird because I never wanted to become some like role model or like person who is like a beacon of strength or anything. But I have discovered that the more I've used my voice in the world and the more that we use our voices, but more importantly, the more we act on our words, the more positive change it creates to kind of break down the barriers and the walls of silence that have held us caved in before.
Amen to that. All right. I have a little bunch of call it. So what would you say to the little boy or girl or the thems, right? Who may have EDS, right? Who may want to do drag, who may feel suppressed. What would you say to them? Actually, what would you say to the 9-year-old self?
I mean,
that one was just pulled from the universe. You know?
I mean, Mama, go all the way there. I'd have to say that it's like not going to be easy, and you are going to have to be creative, but do not let what the world thinks of you or what you believe your own limitations are keep you from exploring things that make you happy. You're just going to have to be adaptive, and that is honestly why it's amazing that I found drag, and that drag is a place where I get to use my voice, because it's the art of transformation. And if you aren't applying that same art to yourself that you're doing, like physically, like makeup and hair and all that, if you can't take that art of transformation to kind of shift your own views and try and ultimately shift the world's views, then you're not digging deep enough.
Period.
Period.
I really do appreciate you coming on to open our show.
Hey, happy Pride, happy Pride.
I was like a little nervous. I was like, wait, I haven't even had a chance to like research. I wanted to, I was like nervous. And so, but I was listening to the song so many times that I didn't even really do much research. I just was like reading through it, and I was like, oh, like the vibe is real. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate your time, and thank you again for coming on. And we're gonna do something in the real life, like in real world, please. Like, let's connect. We can do a social distance dinner somewhere. Are you on the East Coast or West Coast?
I'm right smack dab in the middle. I'm still in my hometown of Denver.
What? You're in California right now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you come back to New York.
Stop me, Mama. Well, I mean, until it's appropriate. But when it's appropriate,
yes,
bitch, let's link.
We have to. Let's build some. Let's make some art. And I wanted to close this out. You also remind me of. You should connect with Rico Nasty.
Oh, I love
y'all do something on that.
I've been grinding on Rico Nasty for years now. I'm so about it, and it's just like amazing to see her also as a figure who kind of represents sort of the same ideals, which is like, oh, I'm gonna do shit that freaks you out a little bit. Like I'm enjoying seeing her rise. So if she would ever collab, that would be so dope.
That's what we're gonna put that out there. So anyone who's connected to Rico Nasty, tell her to pull up to Yvie and connect and make some art, because we need more of that synergy too. Yvie got bars. Period.
I mean, I'll write some down. I'll throw some out for her. Thank you again so much.
Thank you again for coming on. We'll be in touch, right?
Yes. And stay safe, stay sane as possible.
Yes. Meditating, eating.
Oh shit, I gotta do that.
See you soon, and thank you again for taking time to come on.
Of course, happy Pride.
Thank you, likewise. Yay. So the next person who's going to be coming on is April K. So April is a musician. She has Black Girl Magic. This whole segment is really about highlighting just the queer community, whether it's, every color in the rainbow. And I am so happy that we have a wonderful female coming on. And, April is, again, a musician. She has Black Girl Magic. She just did a really long post that I didn't have a chance to look at. So we're going to talk about that as well. I'm going to find her. Let's see. April, there you go. Boop. Oh, I love when everyone's on time. So we're going to ask her about, just her latest post. I didn't have a chance to read it. Wow.
Hi. Let me just zoom out a little.
Yes.
The hair's not going to fit, listen, but I'll do my best.
You look.
Just give you the full pride.
Listen, let's go. All right, so drop a little bit of gems. Tell them who you are. Tell them about your universe. I always love people my guests to tell them about themselves because it's so much easier to articulate your own universe, right? So,
yes. My universe is expansive. It has art. It has community. It has a lot of Black people, a lot of queer people, a lot of trans people, a lot of fat people, a lot of disabled people, a lot of healing, sick, challenging, triumphant people. That is my universe, and who I am as a person who supports that. So that can be, as you mentioned, through music, which I've been doing a lot of during quarantine. And so that's a big way I like to connect with people, to provide comfort and storytelling. I also am a social work student, which I'm doing to support that other work, right? Because you said in your intro, it's all about community. So I want to learn, from the books. I'm all about academic learning and learning from the community. I also run a blog with my band, Imani Gold. We're also a little bit of a collective. I could go on and on, but really, as you said, it's all in service of that universe and really supporting that community how I can.
I'm so grateful. I'm sorry, I'm very gracious.
My heart, I love it.
Because, people, it's a lot to take time out your day and to do this. And I'm really just grateful for you taking time to just chat with us on One Live.
Likewise, Jerome, and I also was enjoying getting introduced to you and your work. It is incredible.
Thank you. So let's break some stuff down. So how have you been? How has your world been lately with everything happening in the world with, Black Lives Matter and COVID? And how are you staying sane?
Woo, let me tell you again. Exactly the right question. How am I staying sane? Well, let me tell you, the past month, it's been priority number one. It's always priority number one, but homies, all y'all out there, it's been hard. Okay, and I appreciate that some of that came up on the last call and some of the previous calls in the series, but it's been challenging, and I just posted a small TED Talk on my
I was like, I can't remember.
You ain't got time. No, there was not enough time between when I posted it to now. Listen, I was like, it's Friday, I need to get this out. But yeah, and that's what I've been doing for the past month is that processing. It's been a lot for me to kind of take in. I was really experiencing some moments where I would have these flashbacks to Jim Crow, to slavery, to all of these kind of past injustices that felt so real and immediate in my own life. And so this bombardment of images, those are the images that are in our Black minds and our Black subconscious, Black subconscious.
From the beginning, right.
So then I see them out there too, and it was just a lot. It was like all that was in my head, all that fear and all that history and all that pain really was brought forward in a way that was hard for me personally. So I need to step back from social media and just tend to my community and tend to my people that really need me and also that really feel me.
You said exactly what I've been saying to people. I'm like, yo, don't send me any more of this. Don't send me any more of that. And being just conscious of what energy I'm absorbing from social media, because there's a lot, and everyone's feeling the same way, right? So everyone is posting this and posting that, and there's a lot of attention being brought towards some of the negative things, right? So that can affect your energy field. And so I kind of I'm doing this, and I have another post this week, but I'm taking some time off from social media to just kind of absorb and recenter to go back and create some new stuff, some new life. Exactly,
and that's that second part too, right? It's not, we've heard a lot of stuff around social media feed fatigue and, oh, you're tired of seeing these images. No. That's not what it's about. These images ain't going nowhere. They ain't been nowhere. They've been here for 4
They've been here. Y'all just starting to see it.
Yeah, this ain't anything new. Okay, I need to take my time away so I'm not constantly overwhelmed by this even more, so I can, woodshed, as they say, to make my art and to serve my community better.
Woo! So tell me, what's next? After you take this break, what's next for you?
So I'm popping off. I really have been thinking more about how I want to do my posts on social media specifically, because that is such an important platform. One of the reasons why I gravitate toward it is actually a community.
Uh-oh.
That was my time telling me to
I was like, what's going on?
See, she was like, I heard you talking about nothing on Instagram, and now you're on Instagram. But anyway, so one of my homegirls pointed out to to me the importance of social media as an organizing tool. I think in academia and other circles we can look down on it. It's superficial. It is owned by these corporations, etc. There are limits. However, that is a great way to reach specifically young people, specifically young Black people. Right. So I want to be telling more of my stories in a way that connects with those young Black people. It's like they're...
You there?
They're sabotaging my phone. Okay, I'm sorry for that interruption. Anyway, I want to just target my posts more to that community and tell my story more authentically and inspire more of those stories off of Instagram. I finished recording my record over quarantine. And
well, that's a good thing, right? Oh, I'm losing you.
I should have hold my call. It's being, I know. It's being mixed right now, and I am super excited to put it out kind of when all this blows over. And I'm kind of thinking now, how do I put it out during COVID, you know, and how can I use this music I made during this?
You know what could be cool? You could do a digital listening party, host one on Zoom, to get to have people just kind of aware of it, and then you could just kind of I love these kind of things because I'm a nerd like that. I'm trying to make sure the phone doesn't die. And then now you can also do, sorry about the noise outside. You can also do, just like create like a visual for it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like whether it's a video or just like your own narrative, which is so cool. Like whether it's a mini movie or just so it tells a story, because I think we have so much more time on our hands that we won't mind sitting down and discovering perspective, music, sounds, art, you know?
I love the idea of looking at this time as an asset, as a time where we have expanded attention for sitting down and doing something. Because I've definitely been seeing it as like, I'm not able to perform out, I'm limited, but actually seeing the possibility. And that's what Black people and queer people are so good at, right? Is we're dealt whatever hand we are, but it's about, and we, you know, again, you talked about this on the last live, it's about making things out of that. We're dealt this hand, let's make it. People are paying more attention, let's do this. We can't do live things, let's do this, etc., etc.
I can't wait to, I want to hear it. I mean, I can't wait to like, I love music. Music inspires me as a creative. And so when I talk, this is why I'm hosting this series, because I really love talking to other creatives and other thought leaders who have a different perspective that can add on to just a more macro conversation. I'm a nerd. So I like, you know, I mean, I dress cute and I'm an artist, but I am a true like thinker, and I like get obsessed with people. Like I get obsessed with the process. I get obsessed with like what it is and how we come about these things. And what were some of the inspirations or the elements that you drew from for this new album? Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of allow me to reintroduce myself kind of moment. I've actually been working on these songs since probably for over 5 years now. My best friend, childhood friend, passed away. I happened to be studying abroad that same semester, and I had this very clear space. Where were you? I was in Florence. Oh, we love Florence. Yeah, it was really cute. It was a great space to just not have all the challenges that we talked about earlier on this call, the things that come with being in America or being even part of a community. I was just a lone ranger, and so it's a lot of stories of my life. It's very in the tradition of folk songwriters, things like Johnny Cash, the story songs. Charlie Parker said he liked country music because he liked the stories, and that's always inspired me. And then also it's very influenced by, of course, my Black upbringing. So even though it has kind of an indie rock, a little bit of folk feel, there's a ton of elements of jazz, a ton of elements of Motown. I play bass on it, and my bass style is influenced by jazz and Motown. I started playing bass when I was young. So How old? I started on guitar when I was 10, and I was playing the double bass when I was 12 years old. And I was the same size as it. It was really cute. I have to find pictures. Yes. That's dope. I can never catch on to any instrument. So I stuck with art. Like I do illustrating, art, that's my world. But I've always wanted to learn an instrument. On that note, so I'm about to go to the next person's, the time is ticking, which is so crazy. It's like going so quickly. Whoa. I know. I'm gonna have to do this on YouTube, I think. This is gonna have to be a part 2 on YouTube. What would you tell your 9-year-old self, if you could, with all the things you've learned up to date and the things you've seen? What would you give advice or tell your 9-year-old self or 9-year-olds who may want to discover this in the future?
So we always tell kids, be yourself, right? And I was told that from day one. I remember being told to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And no one told me how hard it was, especially as a Black person, as a queer person, as an artist, as someone who's not neurotypical, et cetera, et cetera. So they say, be yourself. Myself is, I don't know, Twiggy, but I'm not this big and not tall. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
like, I'm not Twiggy, right? You know, and so I need to do that work. And so what I wish someone would have told me, and what I would go back and tell myself, and what I tell young people is, being myself, the moments where I'm most myself, I am the most successful. This is one of the biggest lives I've done, and y'all brought me on because I'm gay and Black and like to talk. That's myself. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
That's how it works. The moments you are most yourself, you are most successful. However, it is hard, and it takes a lot of self-care, community care, and self-work. And don't ever let anyone tell you being yourself is easy, because it's not, and it's work. And you're in for a long, rewarding, challenging life.
Point blank. All of the above. Mm-hmm. You know? Thank you. I mean, was that a good interview?
Yes, that was a good one. We had a little Oprah moment, like back and forth. Oh, we're just having our little cocktail. Yes.
Listen,
yes.
My goal is to be the new Oprah for social media.
So I feel like Copra, right?
Copra. Ropa. No, thank you again. I really appreciate you, and I can't wait to really connect with you. Are you in New York?
Yep.
What? Okay, we may do a COVID.
Yes. COVID Kiki. Yes.
Math,
yes.
Drinking something. But yeah, like, I appreciate your time and your beauty and your brains and your talent. And I want to thank you for coming on One Live.
Thank you so much, Jerome, for having me. Thank you, One, and thank you all the wonderful people supporting us in the comments. Happy Pride. I love you all. Shout out to my Black folks. Shout out to my trans folks. We're killing it this year.
Yes.
Keep on taking those steps we've always been taking.
Woo!
I love you all.
See you soon.
See ya.
Wow. Okay. So that was wonderful. Moving right along. We're going to have. Let's see if Marquise is in the building. Oh, ready. Okay. Marquise Vilsón. So I'm gonna let Marquise say. I'm gonna let you talk your talk. Hi.
Hello. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
And thank you, Christiana. I see you in the comments.
I really want to make sure everyone gets to know who you are and hear your story. And yeah, break it down.
Cool. My name is Marquise Vilsón Balenciaga. I'm in the house of Balenciaga. I also happen to be a Black trans actor, advocate, somebody's son, greedy, whatever you need me to be. Like, I'm all of those things. I do want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Juan. Thank you to Christiana. I appreciate all of this. And also to all of your viewers here right now today. Please go and watch Disclosure. If you have not seen it on Netflix, please go and watch it. It is so necessary.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down a little bit so we have an idea. Wow, Disclosure. Like, I actually watched it when it premiered. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's like a full-on history on just gender, period. You know, like how you know, our trans people, trans community existing from the beginning of time, basically. You know, and break it down.
Honestly speaking, we've essentially always been here. I think the intention for Laverne and for Sam was really around just making sure that people recognize that the depictions that we've seen in television and film over the last 100 years have really taught people how to treat and how to see and how to show up for, or maybe how to push out trans folk. So essentially, I mean, that's exactly what you're seeing in the film. A lot of it is obviously not authentically trans experiences. These are cis folks' ideas around what transness looks like.
Black people. It's
Black people, queer folk. Yeah, it's all of those things. And I kind of appreciated that. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of queer content that has been created by queer artists, by trans folk. But I think it's more important for cis folk to see how problematic it is when you're creating things that unfortunately affect and impact an entire community of folk.
Yeah.
I mean, we're constantly seeing it. Just 2 days ago on Thursday, a Black trans woman, Brianna, what's her name? Brianna Stone, 17,
yeah.
17 years old, found dead in a car. I mean, it's just consistent.
It seems as if it's being like even escalated after this Black Lives Matter situation. It's like there's been 2 or 3 like back to. It's so strange and so disheartening to like know like, come on, like you guys gotta do better, you know. And it's unfair too because it feels like it's always brushed under the rug or like people are not acknowledging it as much as they should.
You know, it's a really difficult conversation to have, I think, mostly among Black communities. Obviously, right, like we're in the middle of 2 movements happening at the same time. Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, Black Queer Lives Matter. And of course, I think we all are in agreement, Black folk in general, that yes, there's police brutality against Black bodies. There's a very intentional sort of need to eradicate us, to erase us. At the same time, it's really tricky to have these conversations because unfortunately, Black queer folk and particularly Black trans people, Black trans women, experience violence at the hands of Black men. So you have to have the conversation. And I know it's difficult, but I'm one of those people, I believe in yes and. So yes, we can address this thing, but we can also hold ourselves accountable. Right.
Yep. I'm with that. Like, you know, I feel very blessed that I have had the family I had. Like, to me, family's everything. And that support system. And my grandmother had, like, I didn't know this. My mom and my aunt said my grandmother's good friend was a transgender. My grandmother's passed. And to know, like, my family, my grandfather, everyone was so cool with it and they understood it and they didn't disrespect it, makes me very grateful, you know, to have a family that is just aware of just the world, other than just being, oh, don't come in here, don't, you know, that using just all stuff that you feel.
My apologies. I'm in New York and I turned my AC off so it's not loud. So I'm like,
my AC's sitting right here.
Girl.
I'm in the Bronx.
Oh my God, I live in the Bronx too. I do.
But you're not sweaty?
I'm sweating. That's why I got a towel.
Listen, you can't even see the sweat on mine. I can't see the sweat on you.
Well, you look fine though.
Sweating.
Yeah, I'm definitely sweating.
I didn't want it to be loud, so that same thing. My AC's sitting right here. But yeah, like just this idea of just being grateful for your family. So how is that with you? Are you close with your family and things like that as well?
I am now. I think for the most part, yes. As a young person, not so much. And you know, to be honest with you, in my own experience, I came out, you know, pretty early. It was like 1995. I was 14.
What?
You know, I was out here early.
Are you from New York?
I am. I'm originally from New York. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Edenwall Projects. Yeah, I grew up in Edenwall Projects. Edenwall. It's on 225th and Laconia. I know where Soundview is. I went to Stevenson. High School. Yeah.
I went to Stevenson. I grew up in Stevenson Commons. And
wow.
Right, my mom went to Stevenson. Like, I didn't want to go there because it was fighting too much. Like, I was a fashion boy. I was like,
I got expelled my first year. I got expelled my first year. But no, my family, for the most part, I think in my life right now, they're very present. And I'm pretty fortunate that they are. I really am.
Wow. So what's next? You're acting, you're doing, just tell me everything. And I want to go into Balenciaga a little bit.
Yes, I am. I'm definitely working on some projects. People can catch me in this season of Blind Spot. It's their last season. I'm going to be in the season finale. So episodes 10 and 11, you'll see that coming soon. Also, FX has a new series out called Pride. It's a 6-part docuseries that explores LGBTQ history over the last 60 years. So you'll catch me in that. What else? I'm currently producing a documentary, so you'll see that probably, hopefully next year. I was trying to finish it this year, but COVID carried. So thanks, Rona.
COVID said.
Yeah, she said that all the way down. So yeah, that's it, man.
So really, really dope. So yeah, tell me a little bit about this whole Balenciaga situation, the House of Balenciaga. How's that work? I'm a weirdo. I'm a nerd. I'm always in my own little world, but I just want to kind of hear.
Have you ever been to a ball? You don't know anything about ballroom?
Latex. When I was like 16, I was wearing Chanel. I was feeling myself.
Okay, so you've at least been.
Baby fat. I was like,
bitch.
I just knew you had to look fashionable. That's what
Yes.
But then I saw the art,
God.
and the art was so dope. Like just the art form of voguing, and just the creativity behind it.
Yes.
Made me really just respect everything, you know. And now it's funny because now everything is kind of growing from that. Like
it is. I mean, you've got Pose, you've had Viceland's My House, you have Legendary. I mean, there's like so many things happening around ballroom. Yeah, I'm from the ballroom scene. I'm in the House of Balenciaga. I have been for 25 years, since 1995. I do not Vogue, just to be clear. And I'm looking at people in the comments. First of all, everybody in ballroom doesn't Vogue. Right. So let's just say that now.
Thanks for educating.
Yes, no, not everybody vogues. I walk Transparent Realness, Sex Siren, Body. I used to walk Face many, many years ago, but yeah, that's what I do. Now I'm just old.
Wait, listen, you gotta train me because I gotta get my body together. I said, I gotta get my body right because my shit ain't working.
Oh shit! Hey, you in the Bronx? Let's hook up. I'm in Parkchester.
What? You did?
Yes.
Done. Sweet. My fiance and I were like, we need to train. I was like, I know. We need to train. I was scrolling through your page. I was like, I know, we gotta train.
I'm down.
Done. I'm at Pelham Bay right now. So.
Yes.
So, dope. What would you tell your 9-year-old self? And then we're gonna close out.
What would I tell my 9-year-old self? Trust the process. Trust the process. You are probably going to go through many different stages of your life where you think that you're finding yourself. Recognize that there is no final destination. It's really a constant transition, even outside of being a trans person. I think that's just what life looks like, but trust the process and surround yourself with good people who are going to love you. You got it.
Amazing. Amen to that. That whole transitioning period, like always being the constant, perpetual moving forward and transforming and evolving into something that you just want to be or that you see is very, very significant. So
absolutely.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for sharing space with me today.
Yes,
have a good day.
We're connected, so we're gonna coordinate, and we're in the BX. I didn't even know that part. We didn't put that in the bio, so now
no. All right, Joe. Have a good day. Be safe. Be well. Yes. Talk to you guys later.
Later. Turn that AC on.
Yeah, I'm going now. Bye.
But cheers. Thanks for coming.
All right.
So last but not least, we're gonna have Joel Mignott. So Joel Mignott's a model. He did this awesome open letter that I wanted to close out with and get some clarity on. And I just wanted to see if he's in here. Oh, we have other people requesting, which is so funny. There you go. And I just wanted to make sure we heard his perspective. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to One Live. This is like really cool to see the support and the love and just hearing everyone's story, and there'll be more to come. It's only going to get better and more concise. And yeah, Joel is about to come on in. See, I was calling him Joel, then I was corrected that it's Joel Mignott. So really ask him when he comes in. But yeah, I think he's fabulous. I think he's doing some wonderful things with his look and his page and his branding, and just getting to know him will be wonderful. And it says waiting for him to connect, so hopefully he sees it. If you're there, Joel, come on in, baby. Oh, there you go. What? He connected? Okay, let's view this request again. Let's do it. There you go. I see you. I added, so let's see you in 2 seconds. There you go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sorry about that.
That's
Technical
okay.
difficulties.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. And I just want to say what a beautiful cast of people that you've had on. It's been
Aren't they wonderful?
amazing.
Shout out to One Management for this amazing lineup. Everyone's been so wonderful. The talk has not been cheap. It's been fab.
It's
right?
been fabulous.
It's really wonderful and enlightening. So tell us, let's hear your allure, your magic. Tell us about yourself, Joel. See, let me it's Joel, right?
Well, you can call me whatever. I've lived.
Because I was like Joel, but what do you prefer?
My mum calls me Joel.
Oh, Joel. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm from Yorkshire and Leeds, so it's like a bit of a different accent, you know.
Yeah.
But as long as you're getting my name correct, I don't care.
Don't. So break it down. Like, give everyone enlighten everyone about who you are and.
Okay, so I'm Joel Mignott. I'm a DJ. I DJ a lot in the queer community. I've also just started producing my own music.
So,
yeah.
What's the genre? What's the genre?
The genre house music.
Woo!
Bit of disco, bit of house, all that jazz.
You need to make sure you connect with Yvie Oddly. Get that new hype. Like that was that was lit. I was playing it. It's a banger.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
And in April, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. I've been a model as well for about 6 years now. It's been a journey. It's been interesting. Obviously, I'm multiracial, mixed race.
What's your background?
So my dad's actually Jamaican. Both my grandparents came over to England in the 60s from the Windrush generation. I'm quarter Irish. My nana came to England in the 60s also from Ireland.
Whoa.
I'm quarter Polish. He also came from Poland in the 60s after the war, etc. So I'm actually not English in the slightest.
You're universal.
Exactly,
really
and I think that's been part of my upbringing. Like I've never truly felt connected to just one culture. I feel like I'm an amalgamation of many cultures. So I think this past couple of months have actually been quite raw for me at times, and it's held a mirror up to who I am in a sense. And I think, you know, I've taken on the responsibility of understanding all of who I am and, you know, the history of my grandparents, the history of me being a gay man, you know, the just everything. So it's been quite emotional for me the past few months, because I have found myself that I have played up to, you know, my whiteness at times. I've played up to my blackness at times. Sometimes I've not felt accepted by the black community, you know. So it's been quite interesting, and it's been a huge learning curve for me.
I mean, the fact that you admitted that part is really you know, because some folks, you know, who are multiracial, they just they are, you know, in a way, you guys are your own race in a way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's important that you do acknowledge that part, and then you also acknowledge the other facets. I think that's really great that you actually admitted that and said that out, because a lot of people just don't do it.
No, exactly.
They just don't.
It's our duty.
You know,
like so many people have helped build the person that I am, and it's my duty to, you know, do them justice. Absolutely. Educate people, educate myself, you know, do what I can for the people around me.
So what have you been doing? All right, I'm like, first of all, your open letter to the industry.
Yes.
We're gonna get to that.
Let's hit it.
But I mean, so what have you been doing to stay sane during these changing times?
I think, you know, this whole period, the coronavirus period, has been truly a blessing in disguise for me, because, you know, I've spent the past however many years traveling, not being really rooted in one place, because obviously I'm chasing my dreams and doing what I can do, blah, blah, you get the picture. I lived in America for 3 years. So when Corona hit, I was in Los Angeles and I decided to come back.
Where are you now?
I'm back home with my family in Leeds. So
What?
I
So what time is it there?
So I think this time I've just really connected. I've got back into my art. I've been creating pieces. I've been learning new music. I've been cooking every night. It's just been all about me, I guess. Learning new things, educating myself, and it's not been easy because I'm an active person. I like to be dipping it and doing it, as Wendy says.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a blessing in disguise for sure.
So lots of music making, lots of food making, lots of art making.
Yeah.
And making waves. So let's go into this little open letter. So what triggered you to do this? What triggered you to write it? Which is
I wrote this actually a couple of years ago, just before I moved to America, and I just remember at the time I just felt a bit stifled in the community of modelling. You know, you see the same faces, the same people, the same categories. There was no exactly. So it was like I wasn't black enough to be black. I wasn't white enough to be white. I wasn't straight enough to be the masculine figure that they wanted me to be. Do you know what I mean? I always just felt a bit stifled and misunderstood. So I was just like, F this. I'm gonna just put it all how I feel. I'm gonna put it in writing. So yeah, it was just for me, it was emotional clearance and understanding of how I felt. I didn't know how it was going to be perceived or who would really understand it, but it healed me in a sense, I think, because I think since then it's allowed me to stand in my own truth and just be me, and it's worked so far.
Well, I think it can only get better, right? Because the industry is shifting, the world is changing, and we're just being a little more aware, right?
It's going to be interesting to see how the industry will be after all of this, like how it's changed. And I mean, even in the past like 3 years, it's changed massively.
Yeah.
But now everybody's standing in the truth. I'm actually so happy because there's so many different people with so many different talents from so many different places that are honestly getting the recognition that they deserve.
Long overdue.
So it's amazing, and I'm proud of every movement towards equality. I think that's the only direction that we can go, because that's our next plan.
Where else are we gonna go? Because it's been a shit show for what? 60 years. You know, and more, 400. Yeah, I think this is a really cool. I think if people use this time wisely, they can transform it into whatever it is they desire. You know? And because it's like we're starting from zero in a new decade.
Yeah, right.
Also,
and
think about where we're in 2010. You know, 2010 to 2000s, we're in a whole new decade. And this is the beginning of something that is so new that we have no clue about. And if we use this time wisely and you know, perfect our crafts, because we were given this time to kind of like improve ourselves.
Yeah, 100%.
Meditate on us, right? And we use this time now to prepare for what we really want for the next decade or so. It can be a really wonderful time.
100%. And I think we're purging ourselves of all this moral insecurities, and we need to we're recalibrating our compass. So, you know, I think after this year, it's all guns blazing. So, you know.
Yeah. Wow. So I like to close out on this. What would you tell your 9-year-old self, given all this information and gifts you've acquired over the years? If you could go back in time, what would you tell him?
You're not that cute. Pull it together, honey.
I am done with you. I am done. I can't. You are not that cute.
No, but seriously, I would be. I just tell myself everything's okay, you are fine just being you. You will be accepted. People will accept you eventually.
Right.
And if they don't, then that's their loss. So, you know.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
What would you tell your 9-year-old self? How about that?
don't worry about fitting in.
Yeah.
You are brilliant.
Uh-huh.
And if you just keep doing what you've been doing. Because I was a loner. I have a big family. So
Yes.
I kind of, the same way I see myself now is the way I saw myself then. So I'm in this really cool like bubble of cloud of like told y'all bitches. Like that's why
Are you a Sagittarius?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. That would have been my next guess.
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Got it. Don't go on Pisces.
Well, my best friend's a Gemini.
Gemini, yeah, we are very.
You get a bad rep, but I think you guys are the best.
Oh. No, Geminis are. We're really interesting, you know, and Pisces are too. We all have our attributes, and we need each other, right? So
100%. We all need each other, really.
It's so cool. Oh, look at all these emojis coming up.
Mwah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time.
No,
what time is it where you are?
I think it's like it's 8 o'clock almost.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You behind? Oh no, I'm in front. You behind?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm ready for bed for bed.
I'm usually bed at 9. I'm such a weirdo. But thank you again for coming on. Yeah,
I want to say thank you to One. Thank you to everybody. Happy Pride. I love you all.
Yes. Again, thank you, One. Thank you to all of the guests who came on today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this show of One Live.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next week. There's so much more to come.
Goodbye.
So now I am signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed this version of One Live. Happy Pride. Stay creative, stay safe, stay healthy. And I'm signing off.